Hello and welcome to the first day of the rest of our lives. Welcome to the NHL midseason offseason, hashtag midseason offseason. My name is Clay. Thank you for tuning in. I, as you can see, am still alive. Glad to see that you are as well. Hopefully this trend continues for quite a while here. Now, if you have been living under a rock, I've got some news for you. The NHL announcing earlier today that they were officially suspending the season, following in the footsteps of the NBA and many other sports organizations, not just in North America, but around the world. Very surreal timeline we're living in right now. Very interesting times. And in a sadistic way, don't take this the wrong way, but in a sadistic way, a very neat time. We get to see history kind of unfold in front of our eyes here. It's not something that we've ever seen before. Something that has affected the entire world like it has. Now, NHL fans were not all that unfamiliar with missing hockey. We've dealt with a full season gone due to a lockout. That was less than 20 years ago. We've dealt with half a season gone due to a lockout less than 10 years ago. So we've dealt with missing hockey before, but in those situations, those were fully in the control of the NHL and the NHL Players Association. But this is hockey being missed at a very inopportune time, being right during the push for the playoffs and, playoffs in the spring. Very inopportune time, and it's all because of something that is just completely out of their control. It's completely out of basically everyone's control. So many leagues are suspending their seasons or canceling their events because of this worldwide pandemic that is going on, and quite frankly, nobody knows how it's going to go. The biggest question right now is when or if play will resume for this season. The NHL made it clear that they were just suspending the season, not outright canceling it. They want to come back and play, whether that be, finish off the last 11 to 14 games of the regular season and then playoffs, or just go straight into the playoffs. We don't know yet. NHL doesn't know yet. But when they are able to come back, or if they're able to come back, is kind of going to be out of their control. A lot of measures are being taken right now throughout the world to try and limit the spread of this coronavirus, to try and limit it before the summer months, the warmer months come here and slow down the natural flu season. Anyhow, but if the measures don't work or people aren't on board with the measures, right? And this virus just doesn't slow down at all, we may get to a point where it's the summer and the NHL has to make a decision. Are we going to start and play, finish the season late, like this late, or should we just wipe our hands clean and just move on to the next season as it would be regularly scheduled? Because the later this season, the return of this season would possibly go, the more it would affect the off season and the following year. So there's a lot of questions about that. Nobody knows yet for sure because, quite frankly, we don't know how this virus is going to spread in the next weeks and months here. I would be very, very surprised if the NHL resumed play by May, and that's over a month and a half away. So it's going to be a while here. The NHL and the NBA and all these other leagues that have suspended play, they're not going to come back anytime soon. MLB has pushed back its regular season. They suspended their spring training. I mean, this is a worldwide thing. It's not just the NHL. It's very, very crazy scenario and situation we're in. Nobody's really kind of gone through this. So that's why I said this is kind of going to be interesting to see how the world reacts to this, how industries react to this, how sports reacts to this. It's going to be something that's definitely going to be talked about for years and definitely in the history books. Now, if we assume that the NHL does in fact come back to finish off the season and award a Stanley Cup, there's a couple different routes that thing can go. Obviously, they could just go on like nothing happened and just finish off the regular season and jump into the playoffs. But the later the suspension goes, I think the more likely that we're going to see no more regular season games played, and they'll just jump straight into the playoffs. How they do that, how they determine who's going to be in the playoffs is a bit interesting because not every team has played the same number of games. And so how do you determine who makes the playoffs, especially in those wild card spots where, depending on if you go by points or point percentage or some other sort of metric, that can change who gets in and who doesn't. And also by that, who ends up getting a lottery pick and who doesn't. What happens to the draft lottery? What happens to the draft? There's so many questions right now, and unfortunately, nobody has the answer yet. We're in day one of this mid-season, off-season, hashtag. We're all just new to this. We kind of just have to play it out as it happens. But right now, there's not really a whole lot of use in speculating what's going to happen because, like I said, we're still a ways away from the NHL possibly returning. They might not even return at all until, October. Now, in terms of us Blackhawks fans, this isn't really that bad of a scenario, right? Blackhawks weren't going to make the playoffs. They weren't officially eliminated, but it was a very, very low possibility that they would make it. Now, the only team that was officially eliminated before the suspension of NHL play was the Detroit Red Wings, which, as Blackhawks fans, that's pretty nice, right? Also, final game of the regular season for the Hawks, they won 6-2. We also got to see Jakubczak hit the 30-goal mark. No other team in the league scored 6 goals in their final game of their season, which, if the NHL is going to give away the Stanley Cup and not play out the rest of the season, might as well just give it to the team that scored the most goals in their final game, and that would be the Hawks. Last time we missed hockey during a season was the 2012-2013 lockout-shortened season. Guess who won the Stanley Cup? Blackhawks. Might as well keep that tradition going. On a serious note, I don't know how or if the NHL will award the Stanley Cup this year. Nobody knows at this point in time. The NHL doesn't know. Anybody that says they know is deceiving you. We're in day one of the rest of our lives here. Hopefully, our lives will continue for a while. But if you know people who are affected by this, please lend a helping hand. Let's help each other out. Get through this non-hockey timeline. Try to get through this. Get to the other side unscathed. Please do your best to do that. Wash your hands. Don't touch your face. Take precautions. Even if you're not someone who is going to be affected, and most of us aren't going to be really affected by this virus any more than we would be affected by just a normal flu. But it's not really about us. It's about the people who are more vulnerable, who have more vulnerable immune systems, whether they're in the hospital or they're dealing with cancer or they're dealing with other stuff that just makes them weaker. That's really what this is for. And the more we can limit our spreading of this disease to those people, the better. So we all, even us healthy people, we all need to take measures to help prevent this. We got to make that sacrifice, and that's what's happening right now with all these leagues banning these events and suspending play. That's why this is happening. Nobody wants it to happen, but sometimes it just has to. So I'm going to leave you with that. I do have plans to release videos. I have things coming up, so I'm not going to be recapping games for the foreseeable future here, but I got some videos coming. I also, I will take video requests. If you want me to make videos on something, just let me know down in the comment sections below. Message me on Twitter, wherever. Get in contact with me. I've got more time to do videos now that I don't have to do Hawks recap videos for the time being. So thank you so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Like, share, and subscribe. Appreciate that as always. But most importantly, as I mentioned, stay safe, make good decisions, and I'll see you next time, whenever that next time is.